Hey there, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, my name is Katie and this is Louisiana Cooking and Living, and we are in the middle of doing some southern yummy delicious desserts. And today we are doing hummingbird cake. If you haven't ever heard of hummingbird cake, there is some cinnamon in it, there is bananas, coconut, pineapple, pecans, just a lot of yummy deliciousness to keep them moist and yummy. So we're just gonna go ahead and get started, I guess. If you haven't already checked out the videos that we've done so far, we have done Italian cream cake. That's the only one we've done. Sorry, I could not remember. That was even just last week. So we did Italian cream cake, which is from Florida. So we're doing a couple of different desserts from the south of the United States. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. And we'll get this cake whipped together into the oven and then cooled so we can ice it with the yummy cream cheese frosting. So let's get started. All right, I am gonna try to remember to leave this recipe linked in the description box. I got it off of Pinterest and it says it's by Laura Rege, R-E-G-E. Not sure how to pronounce her name, but if I can remember, I will leave this link in the description box. My oven is preheating to 350 degrees and we are going to get our cake batter going. So in my mixing bowl, we're gonna put our flour, our baking soda, our cinnamon, and salt. So let me grab my flour. We need 3 cups of all-purpose flour. So when you're scooping your flour, you don't wanna compact it. You just wanna kind of fluff it up as you're getting it. There's also grams listed in this recipe, so you could weigh your ingredients out also. Just for time's sake, I'm not doing that today. I feel like a cake doesn't have to be perfect. It's like you were doing some bread. So we're doing 3 cups of flour. To this, we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of baking soda. Next, we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm gonna do my salt first before I get my cinnamon on my teaspoon. So 1 teaspoon of salt. And then 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Oh, I just love the smell of cinnamon. And I'm gonna go ahead and give this a little mix on my mixer. You could always use a hand mixer if you wanted, or you could use a spoon. All right. We are going to mash up 3 bananas. I told my son a week ago I was going to be making this recipe, and he has been every day. When are you making that, Mom? When are you making that? Oh, this one's definitely ripe. You want ripe bananas. Leave that little bit of end off of there because that seemed a little too ripe for my taste. All right, we're gonna smash these bananas up. Guess they could have been a little more ripe. But that's what I had. I bought these at the store actually a couple of days ago, hoping they would get more ripe. All right, to our bananas, we are going to be adding 3 large eggs. Let me grab those real quick. stir these in. All right, now we're going to add 2 cups of sugar. It's a 1/2 cup measure. We need 2 cups, so we're doing 4 of those. We'll give this a stir. We're going to do 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And then we're going to do 1 cup of oil. I just have some olive oil here. I may need to add some avocado oil to this too. If you don't use extra virgin olive oil, regular olive oil has no flavor, so you can just substitute it as an all-purpose oil, and that's the same with avocado oil. All right, we'll give this a mix. I don't think we're gonna be able to fit our pineapple in the same mixing bowl, so I'm gonna have to add this to my dry ingredients and then add my pineapple to that too. This is 1 8-ounce can of crushed pineapple. I'm gonna just go ahead and pour this in the mixer with the juices. We'll pour this in. Go ahead and give this a little bit of a mix. And then to this, we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of shredded coconut. And then we're also going to add 1 cup of toasted chopped pecans. I just chopped these in my 1970s Tupperware nut chopper. It just has this little crank. You put the pecans up here. They come out chopped. I put them in my iron skillet and toasted these on my cooktop. I put them on lowish, medium low, and then stirred them occasionally so they didn't burn. So we need a cup of these. About a cup. We'll throw this in here. Move this out of my way. All right, now we're going to give this a good mix. All right, this cake takes 3 8-inch cake pans, and they want you to grease it and then line it with parchment paper. I've already done 2 of these. I'm just going to show you how I did those. I haven't greased these yet. I'm going to get that in a second. So what I did was I tore off a piece of parchment that I thought would kind of go side to side. We're going to fold. In half and then fold in half again. And now we want this point to be about the center of our pan, so we're going to keep folding on this point. So I'm going to fold it over again. And again on that same point. And we're going to kind of estimate the center of our pan. And we're going to cut kind of a curved line around this. We'll unfold it and see if we made it fit. And if not, we just trim it up a little bit more. Guess we're a little too big. I find this is a big trial and error with how much to cut off. You don't want to cut off too much and then waste it and have to get another piece. I think we need just a little bit more off of there. Let's see, you want to fold it back on your same line so that there we go. Is that the right ones? There we go. A little bit more. There we go. All right, let me grease these real quick and then we'll get our cake batter in. All right, this is just some avocado oil. Going with the sides a little bit. I'll put this down. I'll coat this now just to make sure. Do the same for other pans. It does not say you need to flour these pans, it just says to grease them, so that's what we're doing. There's quite a bit of oil in this cake. So, all right, there we go. Give this a few stirs to make sure the bottom is good and mixed in. Alrighty. Let's divide this among our 3 pans. All right, we're gonna bake those for 30 to 35 minutes until a toothpick comes out clean. And you don't want it completely clean because you want some moist crumb in there and it's gonna continue cooking once it comes out of the oven. So just a few little crumbs on your toothpick would be perfect. So we'll be back when these have come out of the oven and cooled, and we'll make some yummy icing to go on them. All right, so the directions for this cake tells us to double the cream cheese frosting recipe. So that's what we're gonna be doing. So to do this, we are going to, let's see, it's 1.5 sticks of butter, or sorry, 1.5 sticks of butter per recipe. So 3 sticks of butter. Let me grab a knife real quick. We're gonna cream this together with our cream cheese, which we are gonna need for the double recipe, 2 blocks of cream cheese. So 3 sticks total of butter. Let's see. And then our 2 extremely softened blocks of cream cheese. I have left these out on the counter for several hours, so they are room temperature. So we're gonna whip these together, cream them together, and then we're gonna be adding in 5 cups of powdered sugar. Now, My butter is super yellow because it is the grass-fed butter. So if you wanted it more white looking, you could do the other butter that's not as yellow. All right, I'm gonna cream these together with my whisk attachment. All right, we look pretty well combined here. Just scrape my sides down. And to this, I'm gonna go ahead and add my salt. We need about a half a teaspoon for both recipes. I kind of like to go my own order when I'm doing an icing or something. We're gonna do, it says a teaspoon, or yeah, a teaspoon for both recipes. I'm gonna do a little bit more than a teaspoon. And I'm gonna go ahead and give this a blend before I start adding my powdered sugar. All right, now we have our 5 cups of powdered sugar. So I'm gonna do it 1 cup at a time, and I'm gonna scrape my sides down in between to make sure I'm getting everything mixed in and incorporated really well. So I'm gonna get my next cup in. This will be cup number 2, and we will come back when all this is completely combined. All right, we have our frosting all together. I actually ended up adding a whole nother cup of powdered sugar to this because I felt like it wasn't stiff enough to really ice the cake. So just make sure you have a really good consistency whenever you make your icing. You want it to be able to spread and not run everywhere. So I can hold this up and it's just staying still. So make sure you have a really good consistency. I have a really pretty cake stand here. I am gonna put a little piece of parchment down underneath the cake so that I can move this to another box to put into the refrigerator, so I put my cake plate in the refrigerator. So we have a little piece of parchment there just to make it easier to move. Make sure your cake layers are completely cooled. We're gonna put a nice dollop of our icing, frosting. What do you call it? Do you call it frosting or icing? I actually added a little bit more vanilla to it too. I feel like it needed more. It just tasted like cream cheese. All right. Our next layer on. Now, if I was leaving this on this cake plate, I would put a little bit of frosting underneath it to kind of hold it still so it didn't move around. But I want to be able to move this off of here and put this in the fridge. And this, I think I'm gonna leave like some ripples in the frosting and not make it completely smooth. I think this recipe could have taken even another, at least half a cup, because it still seems to be sliding a little bit. When we get this in the fridge, it'll help it set up and hold together a little bit more like a little concrete. You can see it definitely needs both to double the recipe. I'm not sure what you would ice with just a single recipe. right, again, I'm not going to leave this completely smooth. Gonna make sure I have good ripples all the way around so we look pretty on every side. Got a little icing on this side, so I'm gonna kind of clean that up. All right, so what I've done also is now I've toasted a combination of the chopped pecans and the coconut. And we are gonna just cover the top of this cake with this yummy toasted pecans and coconut. How does that look? Does that look super yummy? All right, we're gonna try this cake. All right, let's go ahead and give this a cut and give it a taste test. Let me grab a knife. All right, we're gonna give this a taste test. Get plenty of that coconut and pecans from the top. I love that part. So moist. I love the cinnamon. This cake is so good. I hope you give this a try. I'm gonna grab another bite real quick. I hope you try this recipe. It is so good. And I hope you enjoy following along with these Southern desserts. So I'm gonna leave my little logo right here if you have not subscribed already and you'd like to, so you can follow along easier. You can click on that and subscribe, and I'll leave a playlist of other desserts over here that you can try out. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.